international box office results are in. Warner Bros. Launched their unofficially titled DC Extended Universe with Zack Snyder's in 2016, a follow-up to his Superman origin story, and the studio continued expanding the newly formed shared universe with The Filmmakers, which finally hit theaters worldwide this weekend, comes on the heels of Patty Jenkins setting new records worldwide, yet it's also the sequel to one of the most divisive comic book movies ever to release. The superhero team-up movie went through numerous hurdles during post-production, and the resulting film may not have been what fans wanted. Critics praised it for getting the characters, particularly Batman and Superman, but denounced the film for choppy editing and the lack of a coherent narrative, something that both and David Ayers were also criticized for, and it's hurting box office hopes. Related, Justice League's domestic opening as worst in DCEU took in approximately $281.5 million globally during its opening weekend, of which $96 million was earned domestically. While the film had an underwhelming opening in North America, it performed quite well in other markets, earning $41.2 million in all 10 Asian markets excluding China, and pulling in $35.4 million in Latin America. In Europe, is outperforming but trailing Taika Waititi's In China, pulled in $51.7 million during the opening weekend, coming in right behind opening gross of $55.7 million, also managed to gross $8.8 million. In South Korea, beating gross by 4%, $5.8 million in Indonesia, lagging behind $5.8 million in the Philippines, surpassing gross by 46%, and $4.3 million in Taiwan, coming in behind, with the film expected to open in Japan on Thursday, November 23, and $9.8 million in the UK, besting by 4% and by 51%. The film also grossed $6.5 million in Russia, 70% above, $6 million in France, 23% ahead of, $3.4 million in Italy, $3 million in Spain, and $2.9 million in Germany, with $9.6 million in Mexico, 29% ahead of, and $6.3 million in Australia, 21% ahead of, but behind, also continued its record-breaking streak in Brazil by grossing $14.2 million over the weekend. Although the film has undoubtedly had a strong audience overseas, its overall box office success remains in question. WB needs to cross $600 million in order to be profitable. Stay tuned to Screen Rant for more box office updates. More: don't expect a Zack Snyder Justice League cut. Source: Warner Brothers.